Now, in order for you to fix your swing plane, okay, your club face at the top of your swing is about 80% of direction of the shot. So the face is what I want to concentrate on the most. Your club face is open at the top. Now, what does that mean? That means the face is pointed down at the ground and it's not in line with your lead arm. How are we going to fix that? We're going to strengthen your left hand a little more. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is eliminate a lateral sway. You have a little bit of a lateral sway. That is the biggest fault for the common weekend golfer. There was a study done by Golf Tech, and they took 4 million golfers, and they took the data, 3D data, and they measure, in 3D, you measure sway and thrust, forward flexion and extension, up and down, and then tilt. They measured all those, and they came up with the average player that shoots 100 moves away and has lateral sway. Well, that's what you're doing. So, what does that do to the net effect of your impact position is it doesn't get you forward enough. The best players in the world, their lead hip gets over their lead shoe. There's about 7 to 10 inches of lateral and rotational. 7 to 10 of lateral shift, and there's about 30 to 45 degrees of rotational. Now I have 3D technology, and we'll do some biofeedback in the biofeedback school, because it'll turn green and it'll play music when you're in the right place. At impact, when you're in the right place at the top. And so you can see it and feel it. All right, so right here, you're going to shift this right hip that direction. Not good. That's what we're going to get rid of. Now, what I have to figure out today is that a physical limitation, or is it a mental thing that you just didn't know and you can fix? So one of the keys is there's a muscle right here called your adductor. Yep. And you want to sustain that, and it's like you're squeezing a ball between your legs, you know, and you want to let that right hip rotate and not shift. Right. So, you know, at home, Chris, what I want you to do is this is your exercise. You've probably heard of these exercises from sports, but you know, you have a lunge position with a rotation. Now watch my front knee. It's over my front ankle. Is it moving? No, it's not moving at all. So you're going to learn to disassociate one segment from another. That takes core stability right here, and it takes the oblique abdominals, which is your rotators. So I want you to be able to do that. And then from that position, I want you to take a club, get in front of a mirror, and turn your hips until you realize you're not doing that anymore. I don't care if you go this way, but I don't want you to go that way, because that's a killer. So you understand that, okay. So that little bit of movement, believe it or not, is causing a sway. That sway is causing a slice. So, because here's why. There's a causal analysis here. If you go this way, what happens is you're about 3 inches this direction. You can't get back onto your front leg, and you can't compress the ball. You're on your back foot. You add loft by bending this lead elbow. You have too much tilt in your upper body. So let's run through this. You got a very athletic swing. You're in good shape. That's a good move. But see that little bit of hip movement, what does that do? Hip slide, axis tilt this way. Now what are you going to do from there? You're going to go the other way, because your brain seeks balance. So when you go this way, your upper body's going to go to the left as your lower body goes to the right. Now you got to go back that way. So that's where you're going to what's going to happen is you're going to go backwards. Now you're started back. See how your head starts to go backwards right there. So the net effect is your hands they're not bad, but we want your front hip over that line that I just wrote. So let's just do the full-on summary, which is only 3 things. Stronger grip, and I didn't mention this first one on the backswing. This is the first thing we got to eliminate. And I'm not going to say any more about it other than I want to see if you can do it on your own. And then if you can't do it on your own today, you're going to have to practice to where you can turn one segment independent of another. That's motor programming that you can learn. Right. Now your impact position is pretty good. The shaft is about there. We want the shaft to be over here. But we will get your left hip on that line if we can eliminate the sway. Alright, now from the down the line view, for you to get the golf ball to be compressed and hit from the inside, we've got to eliminate that sway. That takeaway is the club head gets it a little behind you there. What do I mean by behind you? Well,
I'm chasing it back this way,
right? Right.
Instead of coming straight out.
So in the backswing, your lead wrist should not change angle, and the shaft should point straight at your body on the takeaway.
Okay.
So wherever the shaft points at address, where does the club shaft point when you address the ball? About the middle of your chest. All right, take it to the first parallel. It should still be pointing in the same place. That's what we call a one-piece takeaway, or an on. That's on plane. So what does that look like? Well, I'll show you what it looks like.
Ooh, that was a mistake.
Oh, you swung.
Yeah, I swung.
Oh, my fault. That's all right.
Didn't even think.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. You're not the first. You're not the first person. All right. So here's just an example of the takeaway that we're trying to see. How that shaft's still pointed inward there.
Yep.
So that's it. We're gonna get that club shaft.
Not swinging this time.
Yeah.
So club face on that one, though.
It's open at the top.
It's open at the top.
Yep.
Okay.
It's open because the face it's not parallel to the lead arm.
Got it.
All right. So here, watch this guy. Oh, you can't see it. All right. You can't see the club.
Okay. So one thing I've always noticed, I've tried to point my club out. Is that necessary?
What do you mean point your club out?
It looks like a lot of pro players or a lot of players right now, right, get at the top. Their irons are still way up here. Mine's coming down here.
Yeah, you get it a little long, and that's because of the sway. So, if we can stabilize your pelvis, your swing will shorten up.
Okay.
See the club face, how it's in line with his lead arm?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yeah, so that's more of a... Now, you know what's good about your downswing is you're not coming over it much at all. That club's coming down pretty nice there. So I think there's a huge upside for you. Huge upside.
Fixing the backswing.
Yep.
Starters.
Yep. Now the reason you top the ball is because you sway and you hang back.
Yep.
And your left wrist and your hands are behind the ball at impact a little bit. But I'll tell you what, man, this is a good swing. There's a lot of upside. I mean, that club is tracking pretty good coming down. All right.